Hey guys, this is Danny Jugan, developer for Access Football. What I wanted to do is put out a quick video to highlight some of the features that we are including in our 5.0 update. Hopefully we'll have this out in about a week or so. We've got two main features that we're adding here. The first is formation subs, the ability to sub out players. And so what I wanted to do is just kind of show you briefly how that works. So I'm going to create a new franchise here, and let's just do, so we'll do Carolina. And what you'll notice is on your franchise home screen, there's now a new option for depth chart. So if you click on that, it separates your plays into the three phases of football: offense, defense, and special teams. Clicking on these loads your different formations, and then you can cycle through them using the keys on the side. Same thing with defense and special teams. Now let's go over to offense. If you want to sub out a player, you can simply click on the player. It'll automatically show you information about them, including all of their stats. This is scrollable, so you can check out all their stats, including an overall rating for their position. And then over here on this right side, it shows the options for who you can sub in for them. So this is your bench. It shows you their positions, their information, which again is scrollable. You can take a look at all of their different attributes and that sort of thing. And we'll have some work to do in the future in really balancing these numbers, coming up with good formulas for our game. Where it is now is good, but we could definitely tweak it a little bit better. And then this little toggle box right here will either make the substitution for all of the player or all of the formations that your starter is currently in, or just the formation that you have selected. So for example, if you've got let's say you've got a particular formation where you want to have a running quarterback. Maybe your shotgun, you want to have a running quarterback, but your other two shotgun formations, you want to have your normal passing quarterback. You can click on this, and then if you just want to sub it in for this formation, then you uncheck this box and you click sub. So now we've got Mendez, number 3 here for shotgun, but if I go to single back or any of the other ones, we have our normal quarterback there. So this will allow you to sub in just certain players for certain formations, or for example, let's say you want to get sub out your center. Maybe in the future he gets hurt, or you find a better center through a draft or a trade. You can sub out this for all of the formations by checking this checkbox. So this should substitute number 70 for 68. Hit sub. So now Israel Holt goes in, and he's in for all of the formations for that. You can do the same thing with defense and special teams. Specifically what you're going to probably want to look at is for the punt returns and kick returns, the players that you have there. Because we have fatigue built in now, you're really going to want to pay attention to who you have in each position. It's not a situation where you're going to want to just put the best player or your fastest player in all the positions, because he's going to get tired. So this substitution menu is available in-game as well. Let me pop into a game real quick and show you how it works there. So you can make substitutions both in-game and out-of-game, and this will save between sessions. I've got it set in testing mode so that the kickoff doesn't show. But again, you'll see a depth chart available here. It pops up the same menu where you can sub in your players. You'll notice that we still have number 3 in for the shotgun formation, so if we want to put our normal quarterback back in, we can do that. If I go to offense, let's just go to single back, and let's put in our backup quarterback just for single back. You see, if we select a single back play, we see number 3 is now in there. Pass out of bounds. And then if I go to shotgun, you see our normal quarterback number 1 is in there. So that is the first thing with subbing out. Let me show you a little bit about fatigue. So normally with fatigue, when we run, you see this white circle underneath the players. So the more actions you do in-game, the more fatigued your players are going to get. It's 4th and 2. So if you go to depth chart, if a player gets tired, you'll notice that it appears as a colored circle. It goes from yellow to orange to red, indicating how tired they are. Now the more moves you do, like jukes and spins, the more tackles that are broken, anything that would normally contribute to a player's fatigue is going to affect them in game. So you want to really be cautious about how you use special abilities. You'll notice in that last play I was doing a lot of excessive juking and spinning and that sort of thing. That's going to fatigue your players, and fatigue is going to affect their ability to perform in the game, not only their speed but their ability to catch. It's going to increase their chance to fumble, decrease their chance to break tackles and that sort of thing. And same thing on defense as well. So you'll also see that same, if we look at the depth chart, that same colored circle is shown on field. So he's got that same orange circle. You'll notice he's running a lot slower because that's the second level of fatigue. Subbing him out and resting will allow him to recover. A white circle is fully rested, and it goes, like I said, from yellow to orange to red. Okay, so if I go back, you still say he's orange, and he recovers a little bit each play. So that's kind of how the fatigue works. And one other thing I want to show you is what we're doing with the defensive blocking. Right now, one of the things that I guess people have requested in terms of controlling defensive players is the ability to actually do stuff with them. There's not a whole lot to do on defense, and that's something that we're really going to focus on in 2017, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit this year. And so we're going to add defensive line moves. You're going to have a power move and a finesse move, and depending on the particular lineman's attributes, if he's stronger or more agile, you're going to want to use a different move. I'll give you a little bit more information about that once it's finished, because we're not quite done with the D-line moves. But what we do have is the ability to disengage a block. So if you're controlling, let's say, number 94, and you want to disengage from the block, all you do is you press the direction that's opposite of where the block occurs. Okay, so in this situation we would just press up or W on the keyboard, and he would disengage from the block. This gives you a little bit more control. It doesn't lock you into a block and make you completely useless. If you get blocked, let's say maybe they're running a play out to the right side, to the right of 62 here on offense, and you're controlling this defender here. Normally you would be kind of locked in there, and your best bet would be to wait for one of your defenders and you hit your A button or your click button to select them and make the tackle. But what you can do here is you can actually back out of this block and circle around and try to make the play. Just gives you a little bit to mess with there. And we know that we need to do some work on the defensive backs. I'm going to see if I can show you disengaging a block here. So I press up to back out of it, and you see he just kind of backs out. Go. So again, we just want to add a few things there. This is not everything that's included in the 5.0 update. You might notice some visual differences on the field. We are baking the lighting. We are doing lots of optimization so the game should run better. We are including a brand new controller support asset pack that we have that is much more universal. It should support every controller that's available, anything from the Steam controller to generic Logitech controllers, Xbox, PlayStation controllers, and that sort of thing. So it should give us much better support there, especially as we plan to move into consoles next year. So when the 5.0 patch is getting ready to release, we will post official patch notes so you'll know what changes are being made. Like I said, I haven't mentioned everything. Just some of the highlights, give you guys something to look forward to. So that'll wrap it up for us in this update. The last thing I wanted to let you guys know, several of you have asked about the mobile version. It's very close. I won't give a specific date, but we're looking at weeks as far as that being ready. What took so long was optimization. we got it running around 15 frames a second early on, but if you think about what we've added since last year and since the version that's currently on iOS and Android, we've added a ton of graphical assets. We have brand new player models that have multiple materials and higher poly count, and all of that makes it much more difficult to render. And so we've spent a lot of time optimizing. I've got two guys working on this that are very talented and very skilled and good at that. And we have the game running consistently at 30 frames a second on mobile devices, which looks really good, and it's really smooth, and it runs a lot better than it did last year, in addition to the fact that we've got a lot more going on. We've got a lot more on the field, and so it's close. It's going to be awesome when it hits. Again, it'll be a free download. There will be an option to pay to remove the ads, but it'll be a really good experience for you guys, and we're looking forward to it. We will definitely keep you up to date on that. So again, that'll wrap it up for us today. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch. Let me know your feedback, any comments or questions that you guys have. Just throw it down in the description below, and we'll go from there. All right, well, thank you so much.